Christmas study series, chapter by chapter, Bible study series, and we're in Luke 21. He looked up and saw the rich dropping their offerings into the temple treasury. This was the free will offering. He also saw a poor widow dropping in 2 tiny coins. Truly, I tell you, he said, this poor widow has put in more than all of them. For all these people have put in gifts out of their surplus, but she, out of her poverty, has put in all she had to live on. Literally, in the line before this, Jesus is saying, they devour widows' houses and say long prayers just for show. These will receive harsher judgment. God doesn't measure the size of what's been given. He measures it based on what is left after. This is not a story of saying, yes, you should give away everything you have. Look at her go. Good job. This is saying the widow is genuinely faithful, yet the system is tragically broken. Verse 5, as some were talking about the temple, about how it was adorned with beautiful stones and gifts dedicated to God, he said, these things that you see, the days will come, not one stone will be left on another that will not be thrown down. Jesus did not share their enthusiasm for the building. God is not bound to structures, even the sacred ones. And what's crazy is this prophecy actually comes true in 70 AD. So the disciples get to witness Jesus's words. Teacher, they asked him, so when will all these things happen? And what will be the sign when these things are about to take place? And he said, watch out that you are not deceived. For many will come in my name, saying, I am he, and the time is near. Don't follow them. When you hear of wars and rebellions, don't be alarmed. Indeed, it is necessary that these things take place first, but the end won't come right away. Jesus then goes on to tell them more things that will happen during the end times. These are all signs: the destruction of Jerusalem and then the coming Son of Man. But notice in verse 12, all of the ones past that, all of those prophecies happen to the disciples in Acts. Persecution becomes a platform. Verse 15, for I will give you such words and a wisdom that none of your adversaries will be able to resist or contradict. And in 18, when it talks about not a hair of your head will be lost, other translations say perish, which is in context meaning the second death. By your endurance, you gain your lives. NLT said you win your souls. In 26, when the Son of Man has come, people will faint from fear and expectations of the things that are coming on the world, because the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. But when these things begin to take place, stand up and lift your heads, because your redemption is near. NLT said your salvation is near. That almost sounds like our salvation hadn't happened yet. Jesus had just said, by your endurance, you save your souls. We're running a race. At the coming of the Son of Man, everyone is going to look down in fear, except the disciples. We are going to look up in hope. Jesus then goes to talk about the parable of the fig tree. Another fig tree, another parable. This parable, though, is about paying attention to the signs, the seasons of the fig tree. You know the end times by the way things look around you. In 33, it says, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Jesus's words live on forever. And there's a need to be watchful. It says, be on your guard in verse 34, so your minds are not dulled or numbed from carousing, drunkenness, or worries of life. Or that day will come on you unexpectedly like a trap, for it will come on you all who live on the face of the whole earth. But be alert at all times, praying that you may have strength to escape all of these things that are going to take place and to stand before the Son of Man. There's end time panic, and then there's kingdom confidence. Fear is not a sign of holiness. Hopeful endurance is. And when Jesus is mentioning this at the beginning, he first talks about the religious leaders and how they exploit widows, and then a widow gives her entire life to the temple. People marvel at the temple, and then Jesus says it's all coming down. It all comes down, but his words remain forever. Thank you for watching this Christmas study series, and I'll see you in the next video when we cover Luke 22.